Hey Zouk Family, it's Friday night, and that means we're going to meet another superstar DJ. And this one's coming all the way from my hometown of the UK. Dan, aka Daxson, how have you been?
Hi, nice to meet you, and thank you for having me. Yeah, I've not been too bad, thanks. Same as anyone really in lockdown, finding it really, it's just surreal, this whole thing, and a bit lonely, but just using the time to just try and be productive really in the studio.
So what have you been doing during lockdown? I mean, many people have been taking up new skills. Some have been using the time to learn languages. Some have been using the time to even learn instruments. I guess it's the perfect time for you to make new music, no?
Yeah, definitely. So that's exactly what I've been doing, but also just taking time to like learn new things, different ways of approaching writing, different melodies, and even different styles as well. So it's been good to have a little bit more time to explore different areas of production.
So I'm a huge trance fan, and I was talking to Marcus Schultz when he came out here in March. It's the last gig we had before he closed, and he was explaining that he gets a lot of requests to play your tunes. I mean, Culture Shock is a huge tune, Sonder is a massive tune, Skygarden. Which tunes are you working on at the moment? You're doing some remixes also. And as an introduction to your music for people, give us a journey through some of your tracks from start to date. That would be a great way for them to get to know your music better.
Yeah, so it all started with Skygarden, which was the first one on Coldharbour. That was the start of my Daxson alias. And from then, I released Persona, Black Card, can't remember, Culture Shock, and then Sonder last year with a few collabs in between as well, and remixes. Yeah, so that would be the journey, the Daxson journey so far. The music that I'm working on at the moment, as I say, in lockdown, that's pretty much all I've been doing every day. So I'm trying to make a lot of vocal tracks for next year. So I've been writing the instrumentals for that, and now it's a case of trying to find the right vocalist for it. So I've got the label trying to help me with that at the moment, which I'm really excited about because I haven't actually done a original vocal track before. It's always been remixes. So I think I've got like 4 instrumental tracks written now since lockdown started, ready for vocalists.
Very excited for those, and do keep us posted when they come out so we can give them some playtime. We look forward to getting you out here next year. Obviously, 2020 is a very confusing time, especially for clubs. We don't know what we can or can't do. We'd love to have you in 2021. But you recently came out to Japan, though, so you're a fan of Asia?
Massive fan of Asia, yeah. I absolutely loved Japan. It was in Tokyo. It was such a surreal place for me to go to. Like so different to the UK and completely different culture. That's where the title Culture Shock came from. So it was last March I went for a holiday, went skiing there. It was actually meant to be for a gig, but the gig didn't happen in the end. But then I eventually came back in December for the gig and ended up staying like just short of a week, I think, because I knew I was gonna love Tokyo. So yeah, it's a really special place.
Where did you ski?
It was Hakuba.
Nice.
Yeah, I think there's like 5 or 7 resorts in Hakuba. It's made up of lots of different ones. And actually, we got really lucky with the weather that week. It was in March, which is quite late in the season. And we got there and it was warm. It was actually raining for the first 2 days. And I sort of went to Japan with this assumption of Japao, like the powder's meant to be amazing, like way steep snow. And yeah, it was raining. The conditions weren't great. It was very warm. And then on the 3rd day, the temperatures just dropped and it started snowing. And it snowed for like 2 days straight. I think on the 2nd day, woke up and it was like so different. Went to this resort called Cortina. It was literally one of the best days skiing I've ever had. It's like me and my mate. It was every run was just like ridiculous. That Japao snow that you sort of expect. And we bumped into a guy, a Scottish guy who's working there, and he said that was the best day of the season. So we felt like so lucky to experience that for the short time that we were there.
It's a fantastic place. I went to Hakuba the last 2 Christmases with a big group of friends from Singapore, and I just love the fact that everything is so conveniently in one place, and the powder is incredible. And the fact that you can do Tokyo for a couple of days and then get the speed train out is
it's not far at all, is it, on the train?
So what are your plans for touring? Where would you love to play? Where have you been and seen a huge response from trance fans? And where have you seen that the trance music is growing? Because I'll give you an example. Out here in Malaysia, trance and hardstyle are incredibly popular. But when I was living in the UK, it didn't feel that it was such a strong presence. So where do you see the movements on your travels?
Well, I think I am fortunate here I'm a resident at a night in Manchester, Wrong Events, and some of the gigs that I've played there are the best gigs I've played from playing all around the world. The trance is still going in the UK. I think possibly it is maybe just a bit saturated with the number of events that are on. So maybe this break of the whole COVID situation, it might sort of reinvent the trance scene. Maybe everyone's having the break that they need. But around the world, like when I went to Tokyo, it was crazy seeing people there that knew my music, like going all that way, and they knew me and the music that I was playing on the night. So like that was special. But Canada, Montreal for sure, that's got an incredible scene there. I love the events that they always seem to have on different styles as well, and bringing out names that you wouldn't normally see as well, like giving new names like myself a chance as well, which is really good. So Montreal is a really exciting place. A place that I haven't played is Malaysia, so I'm really excited to come out there and play for you guys when this is all over as well. And I'm still actually yet to play in the States officially. I was due to be playing in Miami and Seattle before this kicked off, and just unfortunately couldn't make it in the end. So I'm still yet to play on the mainland of United States.
Well, we look forward to having you out here. There's an irony to where I live here in Malaysia. So Kuala Lumpur is very hot, 30 degrees every day, gorgeous sun, summer all year. But we are based 6,000 feet above sea level on the top of one of the hills outside of KL. And it's like UK weather, rains, could be a bit miserable sometimes, it's cold. So it'd be like a home away from home for you. You'll bring your t-shirts and your shorts and your boardies and you'll be like, Joe, what the hell is this? So
you went out to Malaysia thinking, oh great, and then you've got there and it's like, where's my coat?
Mate, I come back home and my friends rip me and go, do you really live in the tropics? You're paler than you were when you left. And I said, damn it, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it suits me because I'm not very good in the sun anyway.
Well, to be fair, you and me both. I go straight from white to pink. So, but I would recognise the twang in your accent. You're from the northeast, so you're originally from Durham, and you have an affiliation more towards Newcastle, but now you're based in Manchester. What's your favourite part of the UK?
Yeah, definitely northeast. I'm speaking to my friends all the time now. My school friends that are still living up there, and they are fortunate to have the coast so close to them. Whereas in Manchester, like the nearest coast is probably Blackpool, like an hour and a half away maybe. But yeah, there's something about the northeast that is really special to me because obviously I call it home still. So 100% the northeast is my favourite part of the UK. Shortly behind that would be the Lake District.
Oh, nice.
Really special place. Yeah.
So you're an outdoors guy?
Well, not really. I've spent pretty much all my life in the studio, but I do love the outdoors. Yeah. Don't get to see enough of it.
Hey, well, once again, we've got great hiking here, so maybe we'll drag you up a hill when you come out.
Yeah.
So
yeah. When I was in Bali a couple of years ago, we hiked up a volcano then, and we got up at like 2 a.m. and it was to see the sunrise, and we were trekking. It was actually raining, I think. Got to the top, probably 6 or 7 a.m. whatever, and it was just all cloud, and this amazing view. I mean, I loved the trek. My mates hated it, but yeah, we got to the top, and the guide was sort of describing what we should be seeing. He's like, right, so behind this cloud there's a nice lake, and then the cloud did break for like a split second. You seen like the lake with the sunrise, but it's a bit of a letdown from getting up at 2 a.m. climbing for like 5 hours or whatever.
Was that Mount Batter?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I took my fiance there last year. We did the 1 o'clock get up. Guide comes, collects you, takes you, get the pancake at the bottom. You go to the very top, and we had exactly the same experience.
Maybe it's quite common then.
and she was fuming because you get up at that time just to get up and see it. But actually, I don't know if you was lucky. Once we did the walk down, once we got about halfway, it cleared out quite nicely. But yeah, we missed the view from the top as well. A bit of a shocker that.
That walk down was pretty sketchy. Like I remember there was like rocks sort of crumbling down. There was like a large group, probably about 100 people, and yeah, there was rocks flying everywhere. That didn't seem that safe. But I loved the trek, but my mates hated
it. So following my bashing you with a few questions, I'm going to take you down a get to know Daxson route now, and just we'll start off on the music. What was your inspiration, or who was your inspiration to get into music?
Yeah, good question. I would probably say it was probably Orjan Nielsen had a big influence. I was living in New Zealand in 2011. I was doing a ski season, and I broke my collarbone on the first day of the ski season, which was an absolute nightmare, as you can imagine. But I mean, I still had an amazing time. It eventually healed. I was able to ski, but for like them 2 months that I was out, I was just listening to a lot of trance music and realizing how much I was missing the trance scene back home, DJing, and I didn't actually bring my laptop out to make music. It was just a hobby back then. But I remember listening to Orjan's album from that year, In My Opinion, I think it was called, and I think it just made me realize how much I wanted to give this a good go when I got back home, and that's pretty much what I did.
It's crazy, we chatted to Orjan a few weeks ago, and for someone who looks so young, it's hard to believe he's been in the game for 15 years.
Yeah.
On a secondary note, he gave me a bit of banter. He rates himself as a pretty special FIFA player. Can you play FIFA yourself?
I used to, yeah. Like I think I've been through all of my gaming days back when I was 16, and I look back on it and it's a bit of a regretful time. I wish I was producing then rather than wasting my time on Xbox, but to be honest, I was always shocking at FIFA. It's probably why I don't play it now. I would be getting like 6-0 off my mates.
Well, we might set you up for a match later in the year. We're going to run a series against a few DJs, and we can see where you come in the league table a bit later in the year.
Well, I can be like Barca and maybe everyone else can be like Sunderland or something. Give me a bit of an advantage.
I hear the cheap shot on Sunderland, so I take it I'll ask you the obvious question: Newcastle or Sunderland?
Newcastle, yeah.
Alan Shearer or Paul Gascoigne?
Alan Shearer.
Wow,
yeah,
cool. That. Cool.
I when I was going to the games, it was like in the Shearer days, so massive Shearer fan.
Can you imagine that back then at 15 million quid, he was the most expensive player in the world? A bit different to now.
Yeah, he was playing for pure passion though. Like he had the choice to go, to Man United, and he stayed at Newcastle because that was his dream. And I just think the mentality was different back then without all the money.
Hey mate, if Fulham made an offer for me and Chelsea made an offer on the same day, I'd go to Fulham.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Also because I'd get mauled back home, but I think it's great. But you obviously do what you do for the passion of it. Where's your favourite place to play?
Honestly, Manchester is got a really good scene. I am really grateful for being able to play here so much. London as well, but abroad, I had an absolutely amazing time on Groove Cruise in January this year, which feels like a different world away now that it's we can't do anything like that. But as I mentioned earlier, Canada, Montreal, absolutely fantastic city and amazing crowd there.
That's cool. I mean, a lot of people also cited Poland as a great place for trance.
I've not played in Poland.
Community as well.
Yeah, I'd love to play there.
So, in Asia, anywhere else apart from Japan that you visited?
Yeah, as I mentioned, Bali. That was like 5 years ago now. And when I finished uni, I went did all Southeast Asia, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, I went to Singapore as well in, I think, 2010, I think it was. For some reason, just haven't been to Malaysia.
We'll change that. We'll change that. How would you cope with the Asian cuisine?
I loved it. I'm a massive food fan, and I was in my element in all them places. Thai food, absolutely fantastic.
And everyone will want to know: can you cope with your chili?
Honestly, I think I've got worse. Like, I used to love spicy food, but now I can't seem to handle it.
We'll have to introduce you to some good spices out here. It's almost a prerequisite. We have spice with everything.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Going back to the music a bit, you credit yourself as being a relatively new face, but those of us that will have known your music and appreciate your music have known you for a number of years now. Who else on the scene that's breaking through do you recommend that the Zouk family check out at the moment?
Yeah, well, all my Coldharbour friends, the Arkham Knight, anything that they release is just absolutely amazing in my opinion. Again, they've been around for years, but I think there should be a lot more bigger in the trance scene than what they are. So talented. Nifra as well, again, she's been around for so many years, and she is pushing through now. I'm amazed to see how well she's doing it. It's fantastic. And so them guys, I recommend checking them out, doing amazing things.
Yes, Stu's been here twice now. Huge following in Malaysia. Obviously, Night Vision, a massive track. Nifra played in Zouk Singapore very recently as well. And also did a catch up with Fisherman last week. And he was explaining that they just did a huge 12-hour marathon set during lockdown, which is pretty special. Yeah,
I caught some of that at the weekend. It's a long time to be DJing in your house, isn't it? It's a long time to be DJing at all.
I guess if you love your music, you love your music. So tell me, Dan, give us an update before we let you go. It's early in the morning for you, and we really appreciate you taking the time to chat to us. What should we look out for in the next 6 months?
Lots of new music. I got a 2-track EP coming out on Coldharbour Recordings, and then at some point when these vocal tracks are finally finished, be releasing them as well. But I'm not too sure if that's going to be this year or next year. There's a remix as well, I believe, coming on Bandit. I'm just waiting for all that to be finalised. And then, more singles on Coldharbour Recordings as well, which I'm still actually need to decide on track titles for. So if anyone's got any suggestions for them, send them in.
If there's one that is particularly atmospheric, you can name it after your hike up to the top of Mount Bata, which was just cloud.
Yeah. Well, I named the track around that time Bali Sunrise, but
the sunrise you didn't see.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of good sunrises, just not the one that we set off at 2 o'clock in the morning for. Yeah.
Well, Dan, it's been an absolute pleasure. Once again, thank you so much on behalf of the Zouk family. It's great to catch up. We hope you stay safe. We very much look forward to welcoming you over here once we get through this difficult situation. And we can't wait for the new music.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. And I cannot wait to come and visit you guys and play for you as well. Stay safe.
Take care. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you very much.